Once you've decided on what color schemes you're going to be using, you are going to put a pea size, I'm not kidding, pea size, like an actual pea, and this is actually a little bit bigger than a pea, but no bigger than this. You're going to use this size for colors. You're also going to be using these small acrylics. Now these stain clothing. That is the biggest thing I want you to know. If you get this on your clothes, it will not come off. So you need to be very careful, which is why we're using just a little bit. And because you're working on transparency, this will go a long way. You can always add more. I don't want to be wasteful. One thing you need to know about these paints is that you should probably shake them before you use them. Some of them have been sitting for a time, and so you need to make sure that the oils or the product inside of this that helps keep the clay, or not the clay, the paint loose, probably is separated, so you might need to kind of shake this to mix it back up. When you open this up, you may discover that you have some dried acrylic on the top. So if we can take that off, this is because somebody did not clean this off before they closed it back down again. So we need to make sure that these are nice and clean when we go to close. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add just a little bit of this paint here. Oops, that's way too much. They come out very fast, as you can see, so be careful. Here's black. Here's another one. Sometimes this will be at the top and sometimes it will be stuck at the bottom. So just peel that back, and if I don't press too much, there's a very small amount. Now my glasses are black and I have kind of this bright blue that's in my glasses, so I might start there. I'm going to start with a small round brush. My small round brush is going to be for the smaller areas. So I'm going to begin with black. And one thing that you want to do is you want to stay inside those black lines that you created. So think of this in respect of kind of almost coloring book style, where you have the large, thick black lines and you want to try and stay inside the lines for painting. The other thing you need to notice is that when I paint with my paintbrush, notice that my paintbrush is creating a directional line, meaning that you can see the direction in which the paint is being brushed on. So if we take a look at this last one that I did, you can see that my hat, the lines are coming down here. If I want to show that the cap or the brim of my hat is going forward, I brought my lines this way. So you want to be thinking about the direction in which you are painting so that you are following, it makes sense. And so if I were going in this direction and I were painting all over, this would not look as right, as correct, as kind of keeping it going up in the direction in which it actually is going. You can also use your black and white image to help you kind of figure out where the lights and darks are, which is one of the reasons why we have black and white here and not color. So I want you to look at the different values, and you're going to create those different values with your paints. Now this will dry. It's a very thin layer, and when it dries I can always go back and I can add a second coat, and maybe this is not dry all the way, which maybe it isn't because I just painted it. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to paint here. I'm going to paint around. And then once it's dry, I'm going to go back and I'm going to add another layer of paint. So you can see that the paint goes on very thin with the transparency, so you need to take your time and do the best job possible staying inside the lines. So when you choose your paints, pea size, figure out what color scheme you're going to use, small brush for small areas, and then really staying inside the lines and really thinking about the directional of the lines. So if my hair is going this direction, I'm not going to be painting in this direction. I want to stay consistent. My lines are going to go in this direction, which is why I have that. This folds over, so I would be doing in this direction. This comes down here, so I'd be painting in this direction. I wouldn't just be painting all over. So those are things that you definitely want to consider when you are painting your portrait. So go ahead and get your paints, have fun, and take your time.